everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Becca and this week we're going to be doing a yoga flow based on our throat chakra. So our throat chakra, as you would have guessed, is a pretty obvious one. It's right in the middle of the throat. The colour associated with this chakra is blue, and this is the chakra that helps our communication, our ability to express ourselves to others and to speak our truth. Physically, this chakra also relates to our eating and drinking and receiving nourishment through food and drink. So this is going to be a nice flow today with a focus and intention on our throat chakra. So without further ado, let's get started. So I want you to come to a nice comfortable seated position. You can sit with the legs crossed, but if that's uncomfortable, feel free to just take the legs out in front or sit in a kneeling position. I am sitting on a yoga block right now for some support, which you're welcome to do as well, or even just a cushion or a folded up blanket. And just start to close your eyes. Just start to notice how your breath is today, first of all, before we bring some focus to our chakra. Notice if the breath is quite fast, or if it's quite slow, or if it's somewhere in between. And our intention for this part of our practice is just to simply slow the breath down a little, or even bring some control to the breathing. Begin to deepen your breathing. Let the breath become slow, become steady and calm. And we'll try and keep that breath going through the nose, as this is our main style of breathing in our yoga practice. But if there's any blockages and you might need to breathe through your mouth, then you can do so. Now we're just going to bring our energy and our awareness into that area right in the centre of your throat. And just picture a blue wheel of energy just spinning away in there. Really focus on that visualisation of this vibrant blue colour. Let it fill up your throat. Notice how the throat feels physically here. You might feel the need to clear the throat. This may be the chakra unblocking itself or balancing itself out. And also take notice of any emotions and things that might come up here as we focus on this chakra. And just sit with those for a moment, whether they're positive or negative feelings. We're not worrying. We're just simply noticing what comes up. Feeling free to write about it after this practice if you want to. And we'll sit here in our meditation for just a few more moments. Keeping the focus on the throat. We'll finish off with 3 rounds of our full yoga breath pranayama. So taking a nice deep breath in, we're filling the tummy, the chest, lift into the collarbones. Exhale, empty the chest, empty the tummy, and let the breath go. Again, inhale, fill up your tummy, chest, take a lift. Exhale all the way out through the upper body, nice and with control. And we'll just do one more. Nice deep breath in, fill your whole upper body up. Really breathe. And exhale, let it go as we release. And then coming to open up our eyes And we're just going to start with some simple neck stretches here to help activate our throat chakra. So we'll do these a few times. So on your inhale, I want you just to lift the chin up and start to drop your head back until you start to feel a little stretch along the front of the throat and chin here. So just as far back as you can get the head. Find the breath here for a moment. We'll exhale, bring the head down, and we're going to bring the chin in towards the chest here. So bringing the head right in until you get a stretch along the back of your neck. And again, focus on that throat, focus on any sensations you get here, feelings. Inhale, we'll come up again, so lift the chin and bring it up. Drop the head back, chin's pointed to the ceiling. Feel the stretch along the front of your throat and chin. Exhale, we'll start to lower down. And again, head's right down, chin's in towards the chest. And the back of our neck is stretching. We'll just do one more of those each. So inhale, come back up again. Head is lifting and our head is dropping back. Open up that throat chakra. Keep picturing the blue here, the color blue. And exhale, begin to bring the chin back in just one last time. Stretch in the back of your neck. And then we'll inhale as we lift, bring ourselves back up, and then we're heading straight from here onto the hands and knees. So I'm just moving my block out the way. And coming into a tabletop pose, lining the shoulders up with the wrists, the hips above the knees. And today I'm going to take you through a slightly different variation of cat-cow. So we're going to take it as more of a flow. So on your inhale, I want you to come up onto the knees and reach the arms. On your exhale, we're going to flow into our cat pose. So lower your hands down, lift the shoulders and drop the head. Inhale, we'll come into our cow, drop the tummy, arch the back, gaze forward. And on our exhale, we're going to lower back into a child's pose. Take a couple of breaths here. And coming into that again, inhale, up onto the knees and the arms are reaching up. Exhale, hands down, lift the shoulders, drop the head for cat pose. Inhale, drop the tummy, arch the back, find your cow. And head back to the heels. So notice how different it feels here to do this as a flow rather than just staying on the hands and knees. We'll inhale up again, reach, arms up. Exhale, hands down, lift shoulders, drop the head, cat. Inhale, drop the tummy, arch the back for cow. And exhale, child's pose. We'll do that one more time. Inhale, come up onto the knees and reach. Exhale, hands down, lift the shoulders, drop the head. Inhale, drop the tummy, arch the back. And exhale, child's pose. Spend a moment in your child's pose. Take a few breaths here. Find a little bit of ease. And then on our inhale, we'll lift up and come up onto the knees again. And this time we're turning around to face the long side of our mat. So it doesn't matter what way this is, just making sure you can still see what's going on. But just so we've got space to bring our legs out to the sides, we're going to come into gate pose. So on your next inhale, take your right leg and bring it out to the side. And then bringing both arms out to a T shape. And to come into gate pose, we're exhaling, sliding the right hand down the right leg, lifting the left arm up either straight towards the ceiling or bringing it up and over as we find the full pose. So don't come here if it hurts at all, just keep reaching for the ceiling if that version's easier, but if you want to slide down a little further, then we're coming to here. Peeking up under your left arm if you're comfortable, or just relax that gaze forward. And remembering that extra focus on your throat. Inhale, we're going to lift back to center. And exhale, we're going to bring the left hand down and reach the right arm up, coming into a little bit of a beginner's side plank. And if you want to, feel free to turn this into a balance just by lifting your right foot off the mat and peeking up at the top hand. And keeping the throat in a nice open position. Inhale, we'll lift, coming back up to gate. Exhale, right hand down right leg, lift up and over or just straight up to the ceiling. We'll do this one more time and then our balance one more time on this side. So noticing how you feel while focusing more on your throat chakra. Inhale, lift, back to center. Exhale, we'll come into our balance one more time. Left arm down, right arm reaching up. And remembering it is optional to lift the right foot off the mat. If you'd rather just keep it on the mat, then just hold this position. It can sometimes be a little bit sore in the hip to lift that foot, so just being careful there. Inhale, lift. Exhale, arms together, knees together, and we will switch sides. So left leg's coming out this time, arms out, shoulder height, getting ready for our gate on this side. So exhale, sliding left hand down left leg and reaching the right arm up, either to the ceiling or over and alongside the ear. So you'll notice a lot of these postures are heart opening as well, but we're trying to bring a little more focus and intention to the area of our throat. So just shifting that intention. If you feel yourself focusing a bit more on the heart, just shift it towards the throat. Inhale, lift, arms out. Exhale, and we bring our right hand down this time, bring it to the mat and reach the left arm up. And again, option to lift that foot and come into a bit of a balance. Don't worry if it feels different on this side, maybe you could come up on the other, but not this side. Don't worry, that's normal. One side's often different from the other, but you might feel just the same. Inhale, we'll come back up and do one more of each. Exhale, gate, left hand down, left leg, right arm up to the ceiling or over and alongside the ear. Lovely breaths here. Notice that inner thigh stretch and that side body stretch you get in this pose. And then we'll inhale, come back to center. Exhale, right hand down, left arm reaches, and option to lift that left foot. Hold that for a moment if it's comfortable. And then drop the foot and lift ourselves back up. Bringing the knees back together, bringing the arms back down, and then turning to face forward again. Come down into a wide child's pose. So making the knees wide, toes to touch, and we're starting to gently walk the hands forward, lower the head to the mat. So taking a little rest here. Finding a little bit of ease in this pose. Inhale, start to gently walk the hands back upright. Bring your knees back in towards each other, and we're coming back to our tabletop pose. From here, I'm just going to shift back a little bit on my mat because we're going to come into puppy dog pose. So on the exhale, we're going to walk the hands forward, keeping the hips where they are and just reaching for the mat. Head comes down to the mat. And we're reaching the arms forwards. So if your head doesn't quite reach here, feel free to pop down a block if you've got one, or if you don't, then maybe a cushion or a folded up blanket. It'll mean that you get to relax more in this posture rather than trying to strain the neck to get the head down to the mat. And just breathe here a moment, again, just focusing your attention to your throat chakra. And you'll start to walk your hands back to an upright position. And then from here we're coming into our downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, press your hips up and back, and find yourself in your down dog. Take a few movements with your knees. If you want to walk the dog, bend them one at a time, just start to energize your body a little bit. And then take a moment to be still in downward dog. Making sure there's plenty space in the shoulders and you're firmly grounded into your mat. And then we're going to slowly just bring the feet through and just spend a moment in a ragdoll. Grab onto your elbows and let your upper body hang heavy. Swinging from side to side. Release the arms down. From here we're going to bend the knees as if we're sitting down on a little chair behind us and come into Utkatasana. So we're coming into our chair pose. So nice strong legs here, reaching the arms forward and looking up between the hands if it's comfortable. And hold that there for a moment, energizing our legs. Exhale, head back down to a standing forward fold. And then we're taking a little variation here, clasping the hands behind the back, squeezing the shoulders and lifting the arms up. Releasing down and just stretching our hamstrings out a little more. Release. And slowly start to rise up to standing, uncurling your spinal vertebra one at a time. Lifting your chin up last, spending a moment in mountain pose, and noticing how the throat chakra feels. And then we're turning forward and we're stepping out into a wide-legged standing pose. So again, spend a moment here, get yourself grounded, our hands are on our hips, our toes are pointed forward for now. And just make sure your legs are a comfortable distance apart. And then we're getting ready to come into Trikonasana. So right toes are turning forward, left toes are turning in, and we're bringing our arms out at shoulder height. And just take a moment here to soften those knees a little bit. So it's very common to just lock them and stand with the legs completely straight. We want to soften those knees here to help Trikonasana feel like a strong pose. So arms are coming out, gaze out towards your right hand. And then turning the palms out to the side, we're going to reach forward with the right hand and bring it to the inside of the right leg. Left arm's reaching up, and if you feel comfortable to do so, bring your gaze up to that top hand. And if you are looking up, you will feel the neck quite engaged here, and that's why I consider Trikonasana a good posture for the throat chakra. Kind of hard to find postures that engage the throat, but you find that when you shift your focus, you can pretty much bring that attention to your throat in any posture. And we're going to inhale, lift ourselves back up. We're going to reverse our posture, so making sure those knees are still soft. Exhale, slide your back hand down your back leg and lift up. Find a reverse triangle. And just maybe drop your head back slightly to again help some open and engagement in that throat. Inhale, arms out. Exhale, we'll come into Trikonasana on this side one more time. Reaching the arm out, turning the palm, bringing it to the inside of the right leg. Peeking up at your top hand. If that's uncomfortable, you can keep gazing forward, just making sure you've got a little bit of an opening in the throat. We're really focusing on that chakra today, bringing it some engagement. Inhale, lift, arms out, and we're going to swap sides. So bring your hands to your hips and bringing your right toes in and your left toes out. Bring your arms out to shoulder height. And again, we'll do some Trikonasana on our left side this time. So peek out over your left fingers, turn the palms, and exhale, reach forward, lower into Trikonasana. So making sure the arms are in line with each other here. If your hand is reaching for the ground but you find that your chest is dropping as well, you might want to just lift that hand up a little. It can be anywhere on the leg. It can be up here, it can be near the shin, or it can come all the way down to the floor. But make sure whatever position that you're in, your arms are in line and your chest is lovely and open. So we're not wanting to be drooping down here. Inhale, we'll start to lift ourselves back up. Exhale, reverse triangle. Only coming down into enough of the back bend that feels comfortable for you. Focusing our awareness on the throat. Inhale, lift up. Exhale once more, Trikonasana, reaching forward, turning the palm, bringing it to the inside of the left leg. Right arm reaches up. Making sure the legs feel nice and strong in this pose. Inhale, lift, coming back to the center and release your arms. You're going to turn the hips forward and just step the feet together to come into mountain pose or Tadasana. So arms are down by your sides, we're gazing forward. We're going to come into a balance pose here, so I'll show you this in stages and you can take whatever stage feels more comfortable for you today. There's no pressure to try and get yourself to the full pose. It can be a challenge in balance, so we'll just take it in stages. So our balance is called Natarajasana, King Dancer's pose. We're going to start by balancing on our left leg. So I want you to reach your left arm up towards the ceiling and just shift your weight over to the left side. Take a bend in your right knee and tuck your right toes under. And then just see if you can slowly begin to lift your right foot and just grab onto your right foot with your right hand. So for some of you this might be as far as you go. This is the beginner's variation of the posture, and it's also a really good place to stay if you're still working on that balance. But if you want to take it a little further, just slowly start to bring the body forward, and as you bring the body forward, lift the leg up behind you. So only come forward enough to counterbalance the leg, lifting. We're not wanting to lift the leg high but be all the way down here. We want to have a nice balance, and we want our arm to be reaching diagonally up and not straight forward. So finding your perfect position here and seeing if you can hold the balance. And again, a lovely one for our throat chakra, as our throat is nice and engaged and open in this pose. We'll exhale, reach the left arm back up and bring the knee back in and let go of the foot. Bring yourself back to Tadasana, give your shoulders a little roll, your legs a little shake if you need to, and then we'll get ready to do that on our other side. So weight shifts to the left, weight to the right, sorry, bend your left knee, left toes are tucked. And right arm reaches up this time. And just come to balance on your right foot. Lift your left foot up and grab it with your left hand. And again, you might just stay here. Even if you are quite advanced in this practice, you might just want to stay here and get a feel for how your balance is today, as it's always different. And then exhale. Slowly lower forward while lifting that leg back up behind you. So we're trying to keep the hips square here. We're not wanting to open them up to the side, so trying to keep them facing forward. And again, feeling the throat chakra here, open and engaged. Exhale, bring the knee back in, reach the arm back up. And release. Shake off the arms, shake off the legs. And then we'll come and take a seat here. Come down into an easy seated position. And we're just going to roll the head. Taking some rolls, bringing the head the other way. And we're going to take a pause out of our asana practice here to practice a pranayama technique called Brahmari breath. It's also known as bee breath, which you will soon see why. This is a really great one for bringing some vibrations into our throat chakra. So with the hands on our knees, or just anywhere comfortable really, we're going to close the eyes. We're just going to start by taking a deep breath in, and then as we breathe out, we're closing the mouth and making a mm sound. So inhale. So we'll do that again. So So it's really great to feel those vibrations as we do that style of breathing. It's a great one to bring some calm if you're stressed, and also a great one for our throat chakra, which is why we're doing it today. So we'll do that one more time. And then we're going to come and lie down on our backs with the knees bent. And just hugging your knees into your chest here, giving yourself a big hug, letting your body rock from side to side. And circling the knees if that's comfortable. And then we're going to take a reclined twist on each side. So I've got a wall next to me, so my arms will look slightly different, but we want to bring our arms out into a T shape. So the arms are out at shoulder height either side of the body. And from here we're going to exhale, bring the knees down to the right and bring the gaze out to the left. And just close your eyes. And we'll start to relax and breathe. Breath be slow, gentle. We're coming to the end of our practice now. So bring in some ease back to the body and the breath. Bringing the knees in towards the body, and exhale, drop them down to the left. Gaze out to the right, and again, we're closing the eyes. And enjoying the restorative effects of this pose. It's always a great one to close a practice with. Reclined spinal twist. Bring them back in and just give them one last squeeze, hugging them in to your chest. And then we're exhaling and coming into Shavasana, corpse pose. So if you need to warm your body up here, bring yourself a blanket or a jumper, as it will cool down as you start to relax. So I want you to again picture that lovely vibrant blue colour in the middle of your throat. And visualise your throat chakra spinning, bringing in good energy and letting go of the bad. And we're going to end with a little affirmation for the throat chakra. Just repeat this to yourself, either out loud or in your head a few times. I communicate with others with compassion and honesty. I communicate with others with compassion and honesty. After this video stops, you can feel free to stay in this relaxation for as long as you like. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope you've enjoyed this throat chakra yoga practice. Feel free to maybe write down a little bit about what you experienced today, how your throat chakra felt, and what that might mean for you. to like this video and subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more. Thank you so much. Namaste.